Why is he dead?
We were hoping that you could shed some light on that.
I don't know.
Jessie is holding on to her little nephew, the toddler, while baby Benson is deep in his sleep in the car seat until everything changes. She stops folding the clothes and she just takes a moment to lean over and peer into baby Benson's car seat, where he's been asleep the whole car ride to the laundromat. Heather, why are his lips so blue? Heather, the mom, walks over, and not only are her son baby Benson's lips blue, they look strangely like they're stuck together. 911, what's your emergency? Please God, this baby is dead.
Keep doing compressions till it gets inside, okay?
I feel.
Baby Benson is already dead. In fact, he had been dead for multiple hours. A few hours before baby Benson was found deceased at the laundromat, a couple is seen walking into McDonald's with the same kids. The toddler from the laundromat, but this time 2 little infants in their own car seats. Within 15-20 minutes, they're done with their meal and they head back out to their car. One of them was a killer, and they had just brought their already murdered victim to McDonald's to eat one last meal. Detective Holtz arrives to the laundromat. Heather and Jessie, the sisters, they already have an idea of what happened to baby Benson.
Please go to that babysitter's house. She has another child there.
The police are confused. What do you mean? Why do you think it's the babysitter? I mean, her face was beet red when we went to pick the kids up. She was sweating. She looked scared. They did notice that Benson had his hat pulled down over his eyes. He was asleep in the car seat. They didn't want to wake him up. They put him in the car. They drive to the laundromat. They gently take the kids out and they start moving the clothes to the dryer. It's not until maybe a few minutes in that they went to check on him and they realize that his body is ice cold.
That bitch! Somebody gotta go arrest her now! It's gone. Somebody killed that baby! No!
There was another problem on hand. Jessie, Heather's sister, tells the investigator, I sent a text to the babysitter on Heather's phone when all of this was happening, and I shouldn't have done it. I know I shouldn't have, but like I said, I was just so angry. I texted her, "You killed my sister's baby." And what did you say the name of the babysitter was? In that moment, if the police felt their hearts sink, they don't show it. They don't even skip a beat. But I'm sure on the inside, these officers, they're panicking. The babysitter's name is Marissa Tiasort. And the officers are quite familiar with her and the fact that she's not allowed to be anywhere near any children. The detectives drive up to the Plaza Hotel at 4 a.m. So this is hours after the laundromat situation. They're here for Marissa and her long-term boyfriend, Adam. That's who's checked into room 214. The door finally swings open and it's Marissa's shirtless boyfriend, the father of her children, Adam. He's standing in the door and there are at least 3 police officers standing in front of him at 4 a.m. and he looks more angry than confused. Good morning, Adam. Is Marissa here? What are you guys doing here?
Wait, does the police know him too?
Yes. They spot a baby, maybe a month older than Benson, laying in a crib in the room. That's the couple's child.
You guys are harassing the hell out of us.
At this point, Adam thinks the police are here to talk about a previous charge that Marissa was charged with. Why are you guys here at this hotel? Because we wanted to get away. From what? Everything. Is it against the law to come stay at a hotel room for the night? In the body cam footage, you don't see Marissa in the room. And that's because she's hidden from the view of the body cams. The detective walks over, pulls the blanket back. Marissa, can you get up so that I can talk to you? Marissa has been pretending to be asleep this whole time. Marissa and Adam are separated to be questioned by the police because technically they are the last ones to see Benson alive. If anyone knows something, it's going to be them.
So the police pull the blanket, say, get up.
Yeah. She gets up.
She gets up.
Yeah. Marissa, this is a very important conversation we're about to have, okay? Tell me about taking care of him today. Oh, I was just watching him and he was fine. That was about it. Did you feed him? I fed him once and he slept. And then, well, we went outside when they got here first, a little bit because it was nice out. You and the kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he was dressed in what? He was dressed in a snowsuit. You were home alone, and then what time did Adam get home? He got home at like almost, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or something like that. Where was he at? He was hunting. Okay, and then what did you guys do after that, after Adam got home? We went out to eat after he got home. Where did you go? McDonald's? Which one? The one over by the courthouse? Okay, and then what happened? Did you come straight home after McDonald's? Only place you went outside the house was McDonald's. Then came straight home. Anything significant happen? Now, something interesting to note is that throughout this whole line of questioning, that's how it starts. It's a little weird that Marissa doesn't immediately ask, what's wrong with baby Benson? Why are the police questioning her at this hotel? When they initially take Marissa out into the hallway, they just tell her they're having an important conversation about baby Benson. She doesn't ask, is he okay? What happened? What's going on? Is everything all right? She's just like, he was fine when I was taking care of him. Okay, so did you get him ready or did she get him ready? Yeah, I had him ready. I left him in his car seat. Okay, how long had he been in his car seat? After McDonald's, it was maybe only like half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. It was right after McDonald's. I just left him in his car seat. You didn't take him out? No, because she usually comes around like 9 and he was sleeping, so. He was awake the whole time? No, he was sleeping. When? The whole time. The whole time you babysat him? All of a sudden, Marissa's mouth turns all the way up and she smiles really big. It's a bit of a creepy smile. She's showing all of her teeth.
Well, no, I mean, like, after he got there, he was up for, like, a couple hours, and then...
He was in your back bedroom? In our bedroom. Then she just pauses for a really long time. Just starts zoning out.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just, like, half asleep.
The authorities decide to finally tell her that Benson has passed. This reaction is what caused this case to go viral.
Why is he dead? We were hoping that you could shed some light on that.
I don't know.
Marissa,
She sniffles, but her face turns more into a smile.
this is the most important conversation you will ever have in your life.
I'm telling you. I don't.
No, you're not telling me. You didn't tell me last time, and you're not telling me now, and I need you to tell me the truth. Heather deserves to know what happened.
I know. I don't know what happened.
Interesting. Did you catch that? Because the police do.
I didn't know he died.
And that's also a lie because she texted you and told you that he died.
Remember,
Oh my gosh.
Marissa
yes.
throws both of her hands in the air.
My phone's off.
No, it's not. How do you think we found you? I'm serious.
Right before this, authorities had broken into her home looking for her. She was not there. They went through the courts to be able to get an emergency track on her phone, and that's how they got to the Plaza Hotel at 4 a.m. to ask her about baby Benson. They cannot trace her phone through cell towers if her phone is off.
Now cut the Marissa. This is the third time we've had a discussion with you
Marissa crosses her arms.
about a child, an
promise
infant
you.
in your care, and now one is dead.
promise you.
One is dead.
She starts smiling and crying.
Did Adam do something to him?
No one did anything to him. He was fine.
Babies don't just die.
The police know Marissa is lying, just like they knew she was lying 2 months ago. Detective Holtz received a report. A little 11-month-old girl was with her babysitter and she received a skull fracture, as well as a potential brain. Detective Holtz knocks on the door to the babysitter's apartment and a man named Adam opens up the door. He says his girlfriend, Marissa, isn't home right now, but she's going to be home soon. He lets them into the house. Detective Holtz looks around while asking Adam about the incident. He states, yeah, a little girl that Marissa was babysitting had fallen off the couch. Detective Holtz asks, Adam, when you say the child fell off the couch, did you witness that? Or, no, but I mean, Marissa's one of those people that, she resorted to because her kids got taken away to the point where she was just a rack of bones. And the only way we got her to go to the clinic and get clean, and she's been clean for 4 years now, is we told her that we were going to sign her into rehab. If she doesn't want to forcefully get put there, she's got to get clean. Sure, that's fair enough. She has no reason to lie to me. And whenever she babysits kids, we have other people that she watches for, you know? He walks over to the little den area and motions over at this coffee table. This coffee table gets put into the living room, and then the kids get toys put out on the ground all over the floor, as you see. You know, the toys are here. Basically, he's telling the authorities that Marissa is very diligent when she's babysitting. He goes on to explain that Marissa had just put the little girl on the couch for 2 seconds, went to the bathroom, and as she was pulling up her pants, she starts hearing crying. She rushes out and, accidents happen. In fact, It's kind of annoying that the mother of the girl would even report this in the first place. He starts ranting.
Bitches like they are, and can't come talk to me about something, or come talk to us before they go and get you guys involved.
The detective hears someone at the front door, and the front door swings open, and Marissa walks in. She walks into the kitchen, and right past the detective and social workers, does not say hi, doesn't even really acknowledge them, just walks right past them. Eventually, she does come back out, and the authorities start pressing her again. She explains to them, I was babysitting, she went to bed, so I decided to clean, and then I was like doing the dishes, heard her screaming, and then stopped doing the dishes, and then she fell off the couch, and there's a bunch of toys because usually I have her sister, so like she follows her, so I had a bunch of toys out in the living room. So you were doing dishes, and then you heard screaming. Fascinating. Either Adam remembered wrong, or Marissa has two stories for this event.
She was literally just pulling her pants up, and she heard her crying.
And then I was like doing dishes, heard her screaming.
Was she in the bathroom just pulling up her pants, or was she doing the dishes? Has anything like this ever come up with you before? No. As far as a child being injured? No. Are you sure about that? Were you talked to about a year ago for a child that was injured that sustained a skull fracture? A year ago, a child in Marissa's care sustained a skull fracture to the point where she had all 4 of her and Adam's children taken away from them. Their parental rights were terminated, which means there must have been enough evidence at the very first incident of that skull fracture that it was not an accident in any shape, way, or form.
Wait, so they lost all 4 child for good?
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But they have their young son that was born maybe a few months ago that's in their care. And Marissa is currently pregnant again. Wow. And she is working as a babysitter. The detectives tell her that they understand. They don't, okay, but they tell her. And for the time being, since a new investigation into child abuse is being opened, they're going to need to find a relative to take care of their son that they have custody over.
So can we do So hey, can we
Go! Go!
Adam, stop! Adam, stop.
Marissa is the one calming him down. Adam, stop. They said that he can stay with your dad until the investigation is over. No, my dad cannot watch him. You guys can go. You guys can leave. Go. You need to leave.
You're scaring my baby. Get the out of my house!
Marissa offers to leave. He wasn't in the house when the accident happened. He wasn't involved. So as long as I leave, since it's an investigation into me, he can stay with the baby. No? Adam's not listening. He's still screaming. If you think you're taking my kid, you guys can go. Adam, I will leave and you can have him. No, they need to leave. He uses both of his fingers to point at the ground. The baby is staying here. That's the situation. You guys can go. Well, we're not leaving until this is all sorted out.
Did I not? Right when you guys walked in the door. I said, if you think you're going to do anything with my kid, you better bring the SWAT team. That's exactly what I said. And I'm sticking to it.
Somehow he ends up shirtless, and they're trying to inform him it's not really how it works. You can't just tell the police to leave just because you want them to. And he tells them, it's my house. I pay the bills. Do you guys come and pay my rent? No. So you can leave. Eventually, the police do leave. They leave the baby under the care of Adam, and Marissa needs to find a new place to stay while there's an active investigation. 2 months later, October 18th, she's around children. She is alone with her son, Heather's toddler, and Heather's baby, Benson.
So they removed her from the house?
Yes, but they don't check in every day. October 18th, Heather probably gets the worst text message you can get while your kids are being watched by a babysitter. She gets sent pictures of her babysitter, Marissa, mugshots, and the charges are listed as child abuse. What the hell is going on? She starts freaking out. She reaches out to Marissa, who has her children right now, and asks her if this is true, to which Marissa just responds, yeah, come get your kids because I'm not allowed to be around children. Heather panics, calls her sister Jessie, and asks if she can come with her to pick up the kids. So they rush, they go pick up the kids, and they bring them to the laundromat. Now, the whole situation when they pick up the kids is very strange and obviously alarming.
You're saying on that day that they went to the laundromat is the day that she got a picture
from a coworker.
That's the day.
Yes. At the Plaza Hotel, the officers decide to ask Marissa and Adam the same questions to see if their answers are going to line up. Their answers are different. Right after Marissa is told that Benson is dead and she finds out and has this big emotional response, the officers, they try to give her an out. They tell her, I understand that things get frustrating, especially with you being pregnant and having your own child. Marissa's face and voice goes from this high-pitched crying sound to, Yeah, no, they weren't frustrating. I promise you that. Which is very interesting because as she's outside promising that, Adam is inside the hotel room talking pretty negatively about the boys. He says about the toddler, he doesn't play with much. He's a pretty quiet kid. I mean, I shouldn't say quiet. If you look at him wrong even, he's going to start crying. I mean, lately he's been getting used to us. Marissa essentially states that she had the baby monitor on and she was watching Benson through the baby monitor. She did not kill him. It was just an implied accident. She said she didn't check up on him. She went to go pick him up from his, little crib and he was dead. She starts explaining how she went into the bedroom with the baby camera where Benson was asleep in the pack and play. But she starts freaking out when she sees that his face is in the blanket, like just head on, nose into the mattress, which by the way, you're not really supposed to let the baby sleep on their belly that young. And he doesn't look like he's breathing. She starts freaking out. He's cold to the touch. He likely suffocated by accident in the pack and play. That's what she's stating.
Try to do CPR.
Oh, 'cause I don't even know how to do that.
Help me understand, when you discovered him there, why didn't you call the police? Because I was scared and my boyfriend wasn't there and I didn't want my baby taken. How did you determine that he was no longer alive? I picked him up and he was really cold. What did you do afterwards? I laid him down on the floor and I put a snowsuit on. Then I grabbed his car seat, I put him in the car seat, and I put some blankets on him. And again, that was before Adam got home. And Adam did not notice that he was dead. He probably just thought he was sleeping. Now, Adam is also asked about the series of events to make sure they line up with what Marissa is saying. Who picked him up out of the pack and play and put him in the car to go to McDonald's? Oh, I picked him up and I put him in there and he was absolutely normal to me. Really? What is normal to you?
Wait, that's a lie, right?
Whiny. But deceased babies don't cry. So who's lying here and why? Marissa ends up being arrested for her previous child abuse charges. And while she's in jail, the police start monitoring all of her jailhouse calls. Not only did she have intense conversations with Adam, but she had multiple new pen pals that she would have these long sexual conversations with. She also complains extensively to all of these guys that the jail food is not nutritious enough for her pregnant body. She keeps calling all the men in her rotation, nagging them to send her money to her account because the baby can't eat prison food. And she just has this weird obsession with being pregnant, being perceived as a maternal woman. I mean, she makes it her whole identity because I don't think that she has anything else redeeming about herself. Now, side note, Adam takes back his statement of being the one to take Benson out of the pack and play to get him ready to go to McDonald's. So remember, he specifically told officers that he was the one that carried Benson to the carrier and to the car, and Benson was very much alive and being fussy. He said he takes it all back. He said when the police asked him in the hotel, he was half asleep. They barged into the hotel room. He didn't even know what was going on. He just assumed that he'd be the one to put him in the car seat. Now, let's assume that Adam had no idea that Benson was already dead at this point. Why would Marissa want to go out and eat? It feels sadistic and dangerous. Does she want to go out and eat because she thinks it'll create an alibi? I mean, she would be seen outside with the baby, and surely nobody would assume that the baby was dead. Because how you have to be to go out with a dead baby? Is this all the purpose of creating an alibi? Or did she really just not care at all that Benson was dead and she could just go out and eat a meal? Adam tried to argue, no, it's because we don't ever cook and we always eat out. But earlier that day, presumably after Benson was already dead, Marissa had killed him. Adam texted Marissa asking if he should bring McDonald's home for them. And she responded, no, let's go together with the kids. So Adam states he never checked up on Benson at all when he got home because he says he has 5 kids. And if he's learned anything at all from losing 5 kids, is that you don't wake a sleeping baby. Now, Adam does stay with Marissa during all of this, and he's even angry for her.
So they think she killed the baby?
No, that it was an accident. That the baby just died in his sleep.
That's what the police believes?
Oh, no, that's what Adam believes.
Oh, okay.
That's what Adam and Melissa are trying to convince everybody to believe. But the police believe that she was probably frustrated and she's an evil person and either shook the baby really hard or literally hit the baby on the head multiple times. Regardless of which story Marissa is saying or what anybody is saying or what she's telling her pen pals, her versions of events do not line up with baby Benson's autopsy. It is clear that, according to his autopsy, he sustained multiple head injuries caused by blunt force trauma to the head. He had abrasions on his nose, his chin, his right ankle was fractured. This was not caused by suffocation. So the authorities bring in Marissa for one last interrogation.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'd like to give you an opportunity to explain yourself.
I promise you I did not do nothing to him.
Eventually, in this last interrogation, they get her to admit that she was frustrated by baby Benson. He was crying, being fussy, so all she did was pick him up, walk him over to the pack and play. This is like a playpen, if you will, and it comes up to maybe about her thigh, like mid-thigh, above the knee. Dropped him shoulder length down into the pack and play. She listened to him cry for a couple of minutes, then repositioned him on his stomach, face into the pack and play, and then walked off. She stated that when she got back, he was dead. This is what they're able to get her to admit to, but it's likely that it was far worse than that. The authorities suspect that she might have chucked him from the door of the bedroom into the pack and play, like thrown him like a basketball. But she will not admit to that. Marissa ends up crying at the end of her confession, likely because she knows that she just confessed to a very serious crime and will be in jail for a while. They ask her one last time, did you try to do something to bring him back to life? And she says, tried blowing on his mouth because that's all I know how to do. I don't know CPR. So this is, again, she's going back on her word. And also, at one point, this is a very chilling part, but she keeps screaming like, I didn't kill anybody. I would never kill a kid. I love kids. I didn't throw him. Nobody ever said the word throw.
I didn't throw him. No, I can never do that.
Did you throw?
No, I could never.
In the end, Marissa tries to argue that she suffered from so much brain damage due to her extensive that this cannot be the real her that committed the crime. Basically, she's saying she's not guilty by reason of insanity. Ultimately, she was sentenced to 37 years in prison for Benson's death, which is not nearly enough. And I guess the only silver lining, if we have to try and find one in this, is that Marissa genuinely thought that she was going to get out in a few months.